if you want to learn how not to do that and how to hit those 319-yard drives, let's continue on with the videos. So welcome to the Emirates Golf Club. I'm here at the wonderful Peter Cowan Academy, and I've got a few little tips for you this morning about how we don't do that basically, and we want to hit the ball. Obviously everybody wants to hit the ball further, but we would say first of all, when we're looking at how we can hit the ball further, we want to check out whether we've got the right equipment. So I'm lucky enough here to have the TSI 3 driver, and just looking at the few drives that I hit before, I was launching it about 14 degrees, just over 2000 or just around about 2000 spin, and I only swing it about 108, 109, so not the fastest swinger, but the 319 driver length, so not bad. You know, 319, I would be very happy with that if I went to play. But far too often do we see, or if we talk about instruction, once we've got the driver that works for us, far too often do we see, you know, people trying to add distance by maybe turning those hips early, moving the body. And yes, we do want, you'll hear us at the Peter Cowan Academy talk a lot about the spiral. Of course, we want to spiral the body, use all of the body to create the leverage. We want to spiral both sides of the body. But far too often then, if I had the quickest hips in the world and I didn't translate that energy into the golf club, then of course my club head speed wouldn't be very high and I'm not going to get the distance. So that said, when I think of the players, my favorite player, one of my favorite players, let's say, would be Jimenez. And you see his practice swing where he's very free. Hopefully you can hear that speed on the camera there. Very free with that club head. You can see how the body's translating the energy back out to the club head. So we talk about here that from the ground forces up, so around and up would be our spiral. And then we talk about how the movement comes from down the spiral, back down into the ground. So we can get the club head coming down and through. And of course, if we're swinging down and everything's moving the same direction, we're going to have the club head accelerating through impact with a stable face. So that said, how many times have we been told not to use our arms and hands? So this is the drill I'm going to give you to go away with. And yes, we might cheat a little bit. I'm going to do a few for you in a second. But let's say that once the body's put the energy into the club, the hands and wrists, let's say they equate for 85% of the club head speed. And then we could talk about, you know, as the guys like Tom Watson plays, Langer, we're not seeing the Dustin Johnson backswings with the leverage. We might see a little folding of the arm, but these guys really know how to use their arms. They really know how to get the energy back out, which I would say for Joe Blogg's amateur is very important. So instead of trying to stress the body, move around, get the hips turning at 4,000 miles an hour, let's try and understand how we can get the energy into the club head. So next time you go to the range, nice and simple, we're just going to take a backswing, and instead of trying to turn and do all of those things we're told to do in the downswing, literally want you to feel your arms and hands doing all of the work and taking over. So let's see how that goes. So arms and hands, I mean, that's gone a little bit lower for me. But let's look at the club head speed. There is 103. I've got a launch angle of 10. That's okay, that's a little bit low for me, but 288 yards I've hit that. I had to look at that twice to make sure that was correct. So you can see how by translating the energy into the arms and hands, we can actually create some decent distance. Of course, as I said, they're relatable for most of the energy. Obviously it comes from the body. But like I said, if you get the arms and hands releasing, that came from somewhere. So we can pick up a lot of distance that way, nice and easy. So I hope to see you soon down at the Emirates Golf Club here at the wonderful Peter Cowan Academy. Until next time.